All right, so today we're diving into something that seems like, I don't know, science fiction, but it's actually becoming reality pretty quickly.
Yeah.
AI diagnosing diseases.
That's right.
We've got a ton of research and articles here about how this technology is already being used
Great.
and what it could mean for, the future of healthcare.
It's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, faster diagnoses, personalized treatments.
Absolutely.
Even like catching things before symptoms even show up.
Yeah.
Pretty wild stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It's really changing the game in a lot of ways.
Yeah, if you're at all like me and you're fascinated by where technology meets like staying alive and healthy, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, what's really amazing is, people hear AI and they think, oh, it's going to replace doctors.
Right.
But it's not about that.
Right.
It's really about giving doctors, almost like superpowers.
Yeah.
We're talking about machine learning, deep learning,
Right.
even natural language processing. And all these things working together to analyze just huge amounts of data,
Yeah.
medical images, lab results, even like handwritten notes from doctors.
Wow.
Imagine a doctor being able to instantly access all these insights from thousands of similar cases.
Right.
That's the kind of potential we're talking about here.
Yeah, so it's not just about speed then.
Right.
It's like bringing a whole new level of knowledge and insight to every diagnosis.
Exactly. It's about augmenting the human expertise with this incredible computational power.
And this isn't like some far off future, right? This is happening now.
Oh, absolutely. This is happening right now.
I mean, one of the areas that's really seeing a huge impact from AI is radiology. I mean, we all know those X-rays, CT scans, MRIs.
Yeah.
They can be incredibly complex.
Oh, yeah.
Even for trained eyes to like really interpret.
Even the best radiologists can sometimes miss subtle things.
Right?
It's just the nature of the complexity.
So they're using AI now to help these radiologists spot those, really tiny tumors or abnormalities that might otherwise be missed.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's not just about having another set of eyes, right?
Right.
It's about having eyes that have been trained on like millions of images
Wow.
and can see those patterns and details that might just escape human perception.
Okay.
A great example is Google's DeepMind. They've developed an AI that analyzes eye scans
Okay.
to detect diabetic retinopathy,
Oh, wow.
which is, one of the leading causes of blindness.
Wow.
But what's interesting is the AI isn't just looking for the disease itself.
Okay.
It's actually analyzing subtle changes in blood vessels,
Got it.
catching the disease in its earliest stages when treatment is most effective.
That's incredible. Talk about early detection. I mean, so it's not just radiology though, right?
No, not at all.
I mean, this technology is being applied across a wide range of medical fields. I was reading about how AI is being used in pathology, speeding up the analysis of tissue samples to diagnose diseases like cancer.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, in pathology, speed and accuracy are paramount.
Yeah.
AI can process and analyze those tissue samples at an incredible pace.
Wow.
Identifying those like really subtle cellular changes.
Right.
That might indicate cancer, which means faster diagnoses.
Right.
Which, we all know that could be critical for determining the right course of treatment.
Absolutely.
And what's really amazing is that, AI is often able to match or even surpass the accuracy of human pathologists.
Wow.
Especially when it comes to identifying like those really rare, complex cases.
So it's not only faster, but incredibly accurate.
Yeah.
It's almost like having a second opinion from like an expert who's seen millions of cases.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
And speaking of expertise, AI is making waves in cardiology too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Let's go on there.
So imagine being able to predict someone's risk of a heart attack before it even happens.
Wow.
That's the kind of potential we're talking about here.
Wow.
So these algorithms are being developed to analyze ECG data.
Okay.
And they're looking for these very subtle patterns that might indicate an increased risk.
Wow.
And this could lead to, preventative measures, lifestyle changes, things that could actually save lives.
Okay.
So we're not just talking about reacting to a heart attack after it's happened.
Right.
We're talking about potentially preventing it from happening in the first place.
That's a whole different ballgame.
Absolutely.
We're moving from reactive care to like proactive prevention.
Exactly.
That's incredible. And it's not just predicting heart attacks either, right? I mean, I was reading about how AI is being used to detect early signs of all sorts of conditions, skin cancer and dermatology, neurological disorders like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's.
That's right.
It seems like it's everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, in dermatology, for example, AI is being used to analyze images of skin lesions, which helps to identify those that might be cancerous.
Right.
And what's really cool about this is the potential for accessibility.
Okay.
Imagine being able to take a picture of like a mole on your arm
Right.
with your phone and then have an AI algorithm give you a preliminary assessment.
Wow.
So this could make early detection much easier and more accessible for people, who live in remote areas.
Right.
Or maybe who don't have like regular access to a dermatologist.
Yeah. That's huge.
It really is.
That's amazing.
And then in neurology, we're seeing AI being used to analyze brain scans to try to detect those very early signs of diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's,
Wow.
often years before symptoms even appear.
Wow.
And, for these conditions, this early detection could be really crucial in slowing the progression of those diseases and, giving patients and their families a lot more time.
Right. More time to, make choices and prepare.
Exactly. And, these are just like a few examples.
Right.
What's really exciting is that we're really just scratching the surface of what's possible here.
Yeah.
As this AI technology keeps evolving, its applications in healthcare, they're only going to expand.
Right.
It's going to impact, pretty much every aspect of diagnosis and treatment.
So it's not just about making things faster or more efficient. It's
Right.
about like opening up entirely new possibilities, for prevention, early detection, personalized care.
It's really a paradigm shift.
It is. It is. But with all these benefits, I also have to wonder about, the potential challenges.
Yeah.
The things we need to be, careful about, mindful of as this technology becomes more widely used.
Right. And those are some very important considerations.
Yeah.
And that's something we'll definitely want to delve into.
Absolutely.
There are some really crucial aspects to consider as AI gets more and more integrated into, medicine as a whole.
Right. Okay, so we've seen how AI is like really shaking things up in healthcare, but it's not all, perfect, right?
Right.
There's got to be some things we need to be thinking about as this technology, becomes more and more common.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like any powerful tool, AI comes with its own set of considerations.
Yeah. What are some of the things we should be mindful of?
Well, one of the big ones, and this comes up in a lot of the research, is data privacy.
Right. Because these systems need tons of data to like actually work, right?
Exactly. I mean, they learn from data. It's how they get good at making diagnoses.
So how do we make sure that all that patient information is being handled, responsibly, ethically?
That's the key question. We need to be really careful about how this data is collected, stored, and used.
Yeah, because it's not like any other data, right? It's your health, it's personal.
Absolutely. We need to have like rock solid safeguards in place.
Okay, so privacy is a big one. What else?
Another big one is bias. We need to make sure these AI systems are fair and unbiased in their decision making.
Yeah, that makes sense. If they're trained on data that's already biased, they could just end up like amplifying existing inequalities in healthcare.
Exactly. We need to be very aware of how these algorithms are developed and trained.
So that they're serving everyone equally.
Right. AI should be a tool for improving healthcare for everyone, not just a select few.
Okay, so we've got data privacy and bias. What else should we be thinking about?
Well, another big one is making sure that humans remain at the center of healthcare decision making.
Right. Yeah, we don't want to just hand over all the decisions to the machines, do we?
Exactly. AI should be a tool to support doctors and nurses, not replace them.
So it's more about like a collaboration, right?
Precisely. Humans and machines working together to create a more efficient and effective healthcare system.
But how do we actually like strike that balance?
Well, that's where things get interesting. And it's a question we'll definitely want to explore further.
Absolutely. Yeah, it makes sense, right? AI can be this incredibly powerful tool, but we need to be sure we're using it the right way.
Absolutely. And it's not just about like the technology itself. It's about how we as a society decide to integrate it into, something as important as healthcare.
So where do we even begin? How do we make sure that AI is being used responsibly and ethically in, making these life-altering diagnoses?
Well, for starters, we need to be having these conversations, bringing these issues to the forefront.
Right.
Talking about data privacy, algorithmic bias, making sure that ultimately, humans are still at the heart of those big healthcare decisions.
Okay, so that's on like the developers and the policymakers, right?
Yeah.
What about us, like everyday folks? What can we do?
I think the most important thing we can do is, stay informed,
Okay.
stay engaged, and be a part of the conversation, right? As AI keeps developing and impacting, pretty much every aspect of our lives, including healthcare, it's crucial that we're all aware of the potential benefits and the potential risks.
So it's not just about being like passive consumers of technology, right? It's about actively shaping how that technology is being used.
Exactly. And healthcare is, such a personal and impactful area. So it's especially important that we're all involved in how AI is shaping the future of it.
Okay, that makes sense. So AI in healthcare diagnosis, I mean, it's moving fast, right?
Right.
And it's got the potential to really revolutionize how we approach our health, but we need to be mindful, right,
Yes.
of the potential downsides, the ethical considerations.
Absolutely. We need to be having those tough conversations to ensure that this technology is being used for good.
It sounds like there's a lot to be excited about, but also a lot to be, vigilant about.
I think that's a great way to put it.
Thanks for taking us on this deep dive into the world of AI in healthcare diagnosis. It's been, I don't know about you, but I found it fascinating.
Likewise, it's been a really thought-provoking discussion.
And to our listeners, thanks for joining us. We hope this has given you a better understanding of, how AI is changing the face of medicine. And, as always, keep exploring, stay curious, and we'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.